This video is for complete beginners who want to start crocheting. To crochet, you need yarn and a hook. So a hook, what is a hook? The hook can be different sizes. It can be very small. This one is 2 millimeters. It can be bigger. This one is 8. Usually you choose the hook depending on the yarn and the project. As a beginner, I suggest you choose number 4 or 5. And number 4, it should be the easiest to hold as a beginner because it has the pencil size and you are used to holding a pencil. Now, as of yarn, there are plenty of types of yarn. So there is this t-shirt yarn, which I found really easy to start to crochet with. It's basically, it's like you take your old t-shirt and you cut it and it makes this long thread, and then you can crochet from it. The t-shirt yarn is very good for bags, laptop sleeves, phone holders, basically accessories. I've seen some people also doing some type of mesh tops, but it depends on the style. It can become heavy, depends how much you use it. Then there is cotton yarn. I usually use cotton. You can use acrylic if you are on a budget, maybe you want just to try crochet. It's a bit less expensive. So for this yarn, you usually need to use the 3.5 millimeter hook. On each yarn, it says the composition, what it is made from, what crochet hook to use. As a beginner, I suggest you always take the information that says here, that's printed on the label. And after you get used to crocheting, you can choose different types, like to see what's the difference between choosing a bigger size of a hook for a small, like a bigger than it says here, or a smaller than it says here. And you could see what's the difference. Then there is also raffia, which is like paper. I'm doing usually summer projects from raffia. It's really light, so you can make light-weighted projects. This one has sequins. It's made with polyester. It's pretty thin, so most of the time you use it in together with cotton yarn or with acrylic, with t-shirt yarn, in combinations with something. Or you can use 2 or 3 skeins at the same time. Now let's get into crocheting. I'll be using this cotton yarn. Here it says to use 3.5 millimeter hook. I personally use the 4 millimeter hook. At the beginning, the tension could be a bit hard to manage. I will show you in a minute what means tension. That's why at the beginning, don't get too frustrated, just practice and you'll get better and better. It just takes time for your hand to adjust with how to move. So the hook up to 5 millimeter, you can hold it this way as a pen. Yeah? And you do it like that. Others, like me, I use for all hook sizes this way. And I crochet like that. It depends, up to you how you find it easier or more comfortable. Most of the time for small hook sizes really makes sense to use it as a pencil. Then the yarn, I show you how I do it, and then I show you other ways to do it. For every project you'll need to make a slip knot. So it's basically a knot to start with, so your project stays together and doesn't untangle. I hold it between these two fingers and these two fingers. At the beginning you can sometimes stay too tensioned, but it's fine, you'll get used to it. So I hold it like that. Then I go with a crochet hook here, like that. See, it makes like a loop. And hold it. Take the yarn, and that's it. So this is the loop, and it can easily be taken like this. Like you can make it bigger and smaller by pulling it from here. And then you just start crocheting. Pull through, pull through the yarn. Alright, let me show you the other slip knot that you can do. So a lot of the time you just can take the yarn like this, make this ear bunny, and through this loop, yeah, take it like that. And then you can put your hook over here. Again, or you hold it like that. Hold the X here and take the loop. Okay, just try more times and you'll see which one is better for you. Alright, so now that we have our slip knot, you need to have a little bit of space over here, yeah, so you can move easily with the hook. Now the way I hold the hook, I take it like that, around, yeah, so basically I'm moving my arm like this. Hop, hop. Now one more thing. If you can see how I hold the yarn, it's between these two fingers, and I usually hold it here. And I hold my project with these two fingers, so there is not much movement. Yeah, this is how I hold it. And now I will show you closer how it looks like. This is how I hold with these two fingers. This is how I hold it here. So you go like that, yeah, and you pull through here. You take it like that and you pull it through this. Okay, I'll show you from different angles. Yeah, you take it like this and pull it through. This is a matter of the reps. Just do the reps and you'll get better, okay? At the beginning you can get frustrated because the tension is here all of the time. So at the beginning when I started crocheting, I was doing very tense. Like I will be like very tense here, like it will be so tight, and here also will be so tight that I'll be doing like this and like it's like very like tense. This is the tense, see? But just give yourself permission and time to adjust. Your hand needs to adjust to it, okay? And I think this is the first thing that you need to do. Just start doing these chains. This is called a chain. So just do a long chain like this until you are comfortable. And you can always unravel or frog it. That's how we call it as well. And then I put the hook here, and that's it. Maybe I want it to unravel up to here. And if you want to count your chain, this is called a chain, yeah? You look through this like V. You can hear some people saying this as a V. So this formed a V here. And now to make the basic stitches, one of them is called single crochet in US terms. Now I will show you how to go into rows. It means that you'll start the next row, the first row, over here. You need to crochet on this chain. I personally don't think a granny square it's easy to start with, but everybody has their own opinion. So this is my personal opinion that granny square can be a bit challenging. And I think this is one of the easiest things you can do. Just make a square from single crochets and you can have a tablecloth. Basically from a square you can do a lot of projects. So to start crocheting single crochet into this chain, you'll need, most of the time you need one chain. Now a lot of the projects they start crocheting into this on here. A lot of the time I hold the yarn from here and I introduce the hook here. See, I miss this one. Let me do it again so you could see. So here we will work and I will do like this and I will miss this first chain and I will start crocheting into here. So I go like that. And I take the yarn and I have two loops on my hook. And then I take the yarn again and pull through both loops. Now I have a single crochet into here. Now again, into the next one. You see here, this one. I will go again with a hook inside, pull the yarn, and pull through 2 of them. Then again into the next one, here. And pay attention how I hold the yarn and the project, okay? It can be useful to you. Then again, here. So you can watch and repeat. Just do until the end. I'm finished with a row. This is how it looks like. And as you can see on top here, it also V stitches, see? Like a V. So this is a single crochet. If you need to count it, this is how you're gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As here, this is our first single crochet over here. Now sometimes you might need to use stitch markers. A lot of people use them, especially at the beginning. In some projects, they are really useful. So how do you use them usually is, let's say you did here the first single crochet stitch. So you put here a stitch marker. So you know that this was your first single crochet, because sometimes you can get confused, yeah? Where was your first single crochet? I'll show you how to make it, how to put the stitch marker right away after you do the first single crochet. This is our first row. And to start the second row, for a single crochet row, we do 1 chain. At this point, we turn our work. This means it goes like that. Now, to start the row, you see we did here 1 chain to start the row. So we're gonna do to do the single crochet for the row 2, you skip this first stitch, this V, and you go into this V, okay? Like that, through 2 stitches. I hope you could see this hole, which goes here. This is how it looks like from above. Yeah, you take the yarn and you pull through 2. And most of the time you'll put this here, the stitch. So this was our first single crochet. So you put the stitch over here, so you know you started your row. Now again, to do the second single crochet into this row, you go through this, yeah, 2, and again, so continue until the end of the row. Now here, of course, we have our, remember, first single crochet, which will be the last single crochet from our row. So we can remove a stitch and go into this hole. Now we are finished with second row. And the third row, you are doing exactly the same how we did the second row. I will show you very quickly, yeah? So again, chain 1, turn work, so here I have 4 rows, yeah? And if you continue making like that, you can make a square and use it for anything you want. You can make a long one and make it as a scarf. You can be creative. Now I will make a few more rows and I show you how to close your project. Now let's say you made as many rows as you want for whatever you want it to have, and to close your project I usually do this way. I leave about maybe 5 to 7 centimeters. It depends, like it's better not to leave 2-3 centimeters. It depends on the yarn, but most of the time, like let's say a finger long. And I cut the yarn. So now what we have on the hook, and here I just pull through this yarn and I make a knot here, yeah? And to weave the ends, you can take a needle, or you could even do it with a hook. Most of the time you need a smaller hook size so it's more comfortable for you, but maybe it's easier as a beginner to do it with a needle. So now I use, this is called a darning needle, but you can honestly use any needle. It's more thick here, yeah, it's not so pointy. So I put it here and then I just go through the stitches, yeah, like that. And that's all. And most of the time I just go through like the whole row just to hide all of it, and if it's left just a little bit, I will cut it. So this is honestly the basics. Just do this until you get used to. So this is really it, the most important to start. And if you want to see another beginner video that I used t-shirt yarn, you can watch it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please write them below in the comments, and you can join my community, which you can find the link below in the description. And there we have live calls where I can help you with any questions you have. Thank you and have a lovely day.